No, what did he say? I don't mean to be rude, but do you feel you are worthy of that checklist back in there with someone who you actually entertain dating for the interwebs? Are you talking about my list? Let's go over my list. Do I think I am worthy of this list? I think this is a very, I'm gonna take this topic a little bit more serious. So here's a serious face Elly. The question is, what was the question? I don't mean to be rude, but do you feel you are worthy of that checklist? Okay, let's answer that question. Let's add more things to this. Has to make 1 mil a year. Has to have 9-inch dick. Has to have 2 boats. Let's go with this. And the reason I put this is because if you have your checklist, you are worthy of your checklist. So my simple answer is yes, because this is my preference. This is what I want in my life. I'm not gonna settle for anything less and then be disappointed 2 years in my relationship and then end up cheating on him or breaking up with him and getting into a messy divorce. If you do not want certain things for your life, you better have a fucking checklist and you better not settle for anything less, because that's why you end up in a shitty ass fucking relationship 2 years down the line, cheating on each other, beating each other up, calling the cops and saying this left, right, and center. You better have a fucking checklist. Absolutely. Even if this was on my checklist, am I worthy of this? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because you need to know what the fuck you want in your life. Anybody, your checklist can be ridiculous as the fuck you want. The only thing that makes this right here ridiculous, I'll tell you, the only thing that makes this ridiculous is if later down the line you say, man, I can't find anyone. No man is good enough. If this is what you say when you're 50 years old, you're a fucking retard because your list is too demanding. So if I had this in my checklist, and if I had all of this in my checklist, I'm cool, I'm good. This is good, this is perfect. If later on I bitch about why I'm still single and unpregnantable, that's on me. That's because I'm a fucking dumbass. I don't have a right to complain that I am single and I can't find a man. But aside from this, I think more people should have standards. And I think more people should have things that they want in their lives and things that they don't want in their lives. Absolutely. But maybe that is not the answer that you wanted. You want me to, you kind of want me to sell myself to my chat. You want me to tell you what are my qualifications. What are my qualifications to find a good guy like this? Well, first of all, I prefer a guy that's 25 years old. Let's go down the list. Prefer a guy that's 25 years old plus. Am I worthy of this? Absolutely, I am worthy of this. If the younger the age, the younger the age, and this is why I have preference right here. Keyword on preference. Keyword on preference. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't date somebody who's younger, but my preference is 25 years old. And the reason why I prefer a guy who's 25 years old plus is because the younger you go, the more likely you're going to run into guys who still live with their parents, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just not that sort of girl. I have my own home. I have my own different struggles. My struggles are very different than somebody who is 25 and younger. I am an adult woman who's already lived that part of my life. I don't want to regress. I want to get ahead. And that's what everybody should look for in their lives, by the way. Men and women. You should get somebody who compliments you and pushes you ahead, not pushes you back. If you get with somebody who is holding you back, that is not net positive. You want somebody who enhances and enriches your life. A 25 and below, I find it really hard to find that. Is not impossible, but I find it a little bit harder. Must live alone or plan to live soon. I added plan to soon. The reason I say must live alone is because I live alone. I'm not gonna wanna drive to your parents' house to pick you up, or we're gonna, you know what I mean? It's a little bit hard to get some good fucking if you're living with somebody else. So I'm already past this point in my life. I'm not shaming. I wanna make this very clear. I'm not shaming anybody who still lives with their parents, has roommates, etc., etc. I'm not shaming you. I'm just not the one for that. You know, there's nothing wrong with saving some money, cutting some corners, getting your paper bag up. Nothing bad with that. But I did the roommate shit already. I'm not gonna go back. I did the living with my friends, with my family. I've done this already. This is, again, going backwards if I settle for less. Not too churchy, preferred. Okay, I prefer somebody who is not super religious. That isn't fun for me. I don't want to be sitting down at the dinner table with a meal across from you and then you start preaching about why I shouldn't wear a certain perfume because Jesus doesn't love that perfume. I don't like that. That is not fun for me. So far, I think I am worthy of wanting this in my relationship, right? We're still together on this one. Nothing super demanding. Taking initiative. If things we need to get done, he will get up and do them, i.e. paying the bills, cutting the lawn, or hiring someone to do that. I don't require a man to be a sweaty man taking his shirt off outside of the house, cutting the lawn. I don't demand that. It's why I said you can pay somebody to do it. I just don't want two lazy fucks, I'm throwing myself in there, who are procrastinating as fuck to get shit done, because guess what happens? Your fucking house starts falling down on both of you lazy bitches not doing anything. I would prefer somebody who is complimentary, who compliments my procrastination ass. If there's two procrastinators, nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. But then you might question, well, then why do you get to be the procrastinator, Elly, and he doesn't? Well, I bring other stuff to the relationship, like having every single meal prepared in the morning. If you're a 9-to-5 worker, you will never wake up and never have breakfast and never have your lunch packed. You will never come home and not have food on the fucking table. Ever. You will never be open the door as soon as you get home and not have a woman waiting for you to hug you. So this is what I bring to the table for the procrastinating, because I do suffer from procrastination. I offer in other areas, like the one I just spoke about. Good communication, great under stress. I think, as evident by this discussion right now, I have great communication skills, and I would want somebody to complement that as well. I'd want somebody who is good at talking. I don't want to be like, you know what? I don't really like enchiladas. And then my man says, so you hate Mexican food. That's a bitch ass communication skills. I don't want a fucking retard that looks at me for saying I don't like enchiladas and then automatically thinks I hate all Mexican food. That's bad communication. And if you do, let's talk about it and have a good way of delivering our ifs and wants and buts. I think I'm very good at communication. I think I'm very great under stress. I would love a man who meets me here, but not a requirement. But if a guy does not work on his communication skills, and a woman, this is a red flag. Not for me, but for everybody. Anybody willing to date. This is a red flag for anybody, right? If you're trying to date and somebody has shitty ass communication skills, there's going to be issues in your relationship. Must be more brave than me, tough to achieve. I think that I'm a really brave person. I am attracted to masculinity, heavy testosterone, and a guy who is willing to be like, let me check what is ghost bump in the night. I think I'm very, very tough. and or brave. And I wish a guy would be better than me at that. Not a deal breaker. It is just attractive. You know, it's just attractive to me. It's my preference. It's like a submissive and dominant thing. Some men don't like women who are overly dominant, and you get to set your preferences. I prefer a guy who's more brave than me. Must be goal-driven and no settling mentality. This one is, I feel like, this is the one that I feel like needs more explanation. And I'll give you guys the explanation. I'm okay with a guy who's like just comfortable and happy. I'm okay with that. But if I want to achieve more, if I want to make better decisions for both of us so we can retire and be happy, I want you to be supportive of me trying to bring both of us up from a shitty, comfortable situation. I want you to not hold us back. If you're okay with being a settler, if you're okay with just being comfortable and just making ends meet and just sit there and playing your video games day and night, that's okay. But if I want more for both of us, meet me in the middle. So this one, I feel like I could change the wording of this. Must be very self-aware. I would prefer a guy who's self-aware, and this comes with good communication. Would prefer a smart guy, someone who typically doesn't need to Google answers to everything like math problems or basic stuff. Would prefer, not a requirement. You know, I would. Who doesn't want somebody who's smart, right? Who wouldn't want that? I think I'm pretty good at street smart stuff. I think I'm pretty good at some of that stuff. I would want somebody who's kind of meets me there. Would have to be understanding of my profession. Would have to be okay that there's a couple of guys currently right now with their dicks in their hands hearing me speak and jacking off. If that's gonna make you jealous, it's probably not gonna work. This is my stream. There's a couple of guys who get very parasocial. There's a bunch of shit that can happen. And if you're very jealous, if you're very weird about it, it's probably not gonna work. You're spying on me? I can see you, chat. I prefer no drinking or very low amounts. Am I worthy of this? I think I'm worthy of this. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a druggie. I don't even smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't get drunk. I don't get high. I don't do none of this. I would prefer that my significant other is not inebriated or fucking high every time we're trying to have communications. So I do think that I am worthy of this. No gambling unless he is extremely responsible. I know that gambling can be fun and it could be a hobby, and some people treat it as that, and I'm totally okay with gambling if they are responsible with it. Like if you want to take $1,000 out of our joint account to spend on gambling every week or every month, baby, I'm okay with that. But if you start dipping into our retirement funds because you have a gambling addiction, you can go fucking fuck somebody else, because I don't want to be part of that shit. I don't want any part of somebody who's irresponsible. You know, I'm okay with gamblers. If you set some money aside, it's kind of like me, right? I'm a video gamer who spends money in video games. We can, at the end of the month, we can take away some money from my funds for my hobbies, and you can do that for your hobbies. Whatever the fuck you want to spend the money on for your hobbies, I considered it gone. Same thing for me. If I want to spend outfits on BDO or TFD, The First Descendant, that money is gone already. We've already made amends that money it's whatever. If you come back home after gambling and you bring $10,000, thank you, baby. I fucking love you. But if you spend the $1,000 and you lose it, I'm okay with that too. Yeah. So Mr. Reverend Darkness says, so question for you on the SMART. My definition of intelligence ranges from how well you use what you got, recollection, how you process, decipher information, as well as how receptive one is handling a new information. I consider that is the best type of smartness for me. A guy that checks whatever you just typed. That is the smartness that I prefer. I don't prefer a book smart sort of person. You know, I don't prefer a book smart person. I prefer somebody who can listen, comprehend, and problem solve. That is important to me. Okay, unquestionable loyalty. Defending me against Final Fantasy XIV, PoE, Warframe nerds. This is some of the things that I put up here are mostly jokes, like this one. Obviously, it's a bit of a joke here by adding video game nerds defending me from that. This one is a bit of a joke. Unquestionable loyalty. I do like a guy who's loyal, but who doesn't, right? I think I'm a very loyal girl, and I would prefer my significant other to be loyal. So I do think that I am definitely worthy of this. Must love his job or his passion. It's not a job must. It is a preferred situation here. I prefer if my guy doesn't come home every day and it's like, fuck, babe, I fucking hate my job, and I fucking have to hear that shit for fucking 20 years of our relationship. That is the most disgusting sort of shit ever. I would prefer if my guy is passionate about what he does and enjoys what he does. There's nothing good about hearing somebody complain every time. I prefer that not be the case, but I understand that a lot of people don't like their jobs, so I am very lenient, and then I will sell you myself, okay? After I'm done with this, I think this is just a joke, by the way, chat. This is just a joke, the bonus points. Now I would tell you what I bring to the table. I have a job. Many people probably wouldn't consider what I do streaming a job, but I take this very seriously. I wake up every single day. I don't take fucking 2 to 3 days off of streaming. I stream every day, at least 5 hours a day, Monday through Sunday. I put in money that I get back into my work, and I come across as as somebody who enjoys what they do. I don't come on stream to be negative. I'm very positive. I feel like I'm very helpful. I'm very wholesome. So I really like what I do, and I'm very passionate about it. I don't take lazy days off. I am very passionate. I really like what I do, and I bring home that money. So I think wherever you may be suffering as a partner, say that you got into a problem and you lost your job, you will not have a girl that tells you, babe, it's been 1 month and you don't have a job, you need to get your bitch ass to work. You won't hear that from me, because I understand how shit goes. I'm a very understanding, very high communication skills. I am a very self-aware person. I am a very trad wife that is kind of missing in today's times. I can cook, bro. I can get down in the fucking kitchen. I think I'm very funny, and I'm very charismatic. I bring that to the table, so there will be no dull moment when me and my partner are doing something. I don't like sucking dick, but believe me, baby, if that was the last, if that is something that you enjoyed, I will be there every day on my knees, because that's who I am. Every time you go out, you will be fed. Every time you come home, you will be fed. Every time you needed help on anything, you will be there. If your butthole itches because whatever ringworm you just caught, I will scratch your asshole if you could not scratch your own. With my tongue, for that matter. That's just for my pleasure, not yours. I am that sort of woman. Hey, you. I'm tired of being the hero around here. How about you be the hero for once? Hit the subscription button. Come on, do it. You know you wanna.